best way to run an organization is to put people around you that are going to hold you accountable, because that way you never get lazy in your job. Today we're going to talk about leadership. All sorts of different levels of leadership within every organization. I'm going to give you my points about leadership from the CEO level. With leadership comes different levels of authority. There's subscribed authority and there's earned authority. Subscribed authority is, I'm CEO, I run the organization, I can tell you what to do. But that is not an effective way to lead. Earned leadership is where you gain the respect of the people around you. They recognize your authority because they respect you as an individual and they respect the authority that you're bringing to the floor. That's the kind of authority that allows you to lead an entire organization to greater heights. So when you're building an organization and it's brand new, it's very organic. Everybody's doing everything within the organization. Everybody's running around. Everyone's doing all sorts of tasks, including the leader, which means you just do whatever you need to do to make sure that the organization is a success, okay? But as the organization grows, you have a lot of new challenges because you need to build the foundations in order to have that growth. So if you're going from 2 or 3 employees where you're very organic and everybody's doing everything, and all of a sudden you've got 20, 30, 40 or 50 employees, you now have to start putting structures into place. Perfect example is you need to start doing proper employee agreements. You need to start having a proper human resources department, and you need to start having proper rules and procedures in place so that you can effectively manage a larger group of people. Because if you're managing 50 people, it's not the same as managing 3. And the reason that you're doing this is to be effective, right? And you also want to be transparent and fair across the board. So you know that if you're treating this one employee this way, this employee can expect to be treated the same way, and that you're not playing favorites. Because you don't want the organization to break down because the employees feel that you're not being honest with them, you're treating one person better than the other, all because you favor them and the policies are not consistent. Right? So you want your compensation, you want your benefits, and the policies and rules that you have in place to affect everyone equally. When you do that, you start building a real effective inner culture within the organization. Cultural change is one of the hardest things to build within any organization. If you're inheriting an organization, to do that organizational change is a lot more difficult than if you're building it from scratch by yourself. Organizational culture is everything. You want people to come to work because they love it. They know when they come that they're going to really enjoy the work that they do and who they do it with. And the way that you do that is to ensure that you've got all the mechanisms in place to enhance the professional and personal lives of everybody that's working for you. Let me give you an example. You have a human resource policy that everybody gets so many sick days a year, right? But somebody is more sick than somebody else. So this person who's just a little bit sick only needed to take 5 days off during the year. But this person has something that's a lot more serious and needs more than 5 days. But if you're going to pay them for more than 5 days off, then these other people over here are going to feel very resentful, and they're going to expect the same at a later date. Now multiply that by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people, and it's no longer manageable, because then too many people are off and you need to start replacing people at work, and it wasn't in the written policies. And how far do you extend it? This person needed 3 weeks off, this person needs 6 weeks off for cancer treatment, whatever it is, right? And you want to be compassionate and you want to be fair to absolutely everybody. I, as CEO, want to treat people the way that I want to be treated, right? So I know that if I'm off for 6 weeks, for a medical condition, that I can still support my family. But if the human resource policy says 5 days only, then I should only get 5 days, the same as everybody else. And these are the difficult things that we grapple with as CEO, is how to establish those mechanisms, those policies, those procedures within an organization that everybody will abide by and everybody feels is fair and equitable. And that's how you build the foundation. So when you go from being a small organization to a larger organization to the next level, it's one of the most dangerous times for any business or organization as they grow, because they tend to topple in on themselves because they don't put in all of those practices. And one of the reasons they don't put those practices into place is the person that's running the organization, that started the organization when it was organic, continues to try to run the company as organic. And why? Because they might not be managers, right? They were very entrepreneurial in starting the organization, but they didn't really need to manage. They just did everything. As you grow into a medium-sized organization, you now have to know and have the skills to be a manager as well as an entrepreneur. Not all managers are entrepreneurial, and not all entrepreneurs are managers. If you can get both into one set of skills, then you've got the winning formula. If you're a charity, you want to set up those policies and procedures and manuals. Yes, it's a lot of admin work and it's really bureaucratic, but it's really important. It's really important if you want that exceptional culture where everybody buys in and they believe in you as a leader because of that consistency, because of that honesty, because of that transparency that you're providing them, and they know that you're not playing favorites. And yes, it's difficult decisions, but it's fair decisions. And that's really what's going to create this unbelievable culture within your organization. Being a leader within a charity, know that just because you're CEO, you are still answerable to someone. Our board of directors is answerable to regulatory bodies. The best way to run an organization is to put people around you that are going to hold you accountable, because that way you never get lazy in your job. Knowing that you're always going to be held accountable will keep you truthful and transparent in everything that you do. You're going to personally grow and develop your own career and your own expertise in a lot of different areas. So put people around you that are smarter than you, that you can learn from, and it will help you grow your organization. If you're starting an organization and you're the lead person, you have to decide what role you want to play within the organization. If you're going to be CEO, then you're answerable to somebody that you need to put into place on the board of directors, that is the president. You cannot be CEO of a charity and be the president on the board. It's a conflict of interest. You cannot play both roles. You're either the volunteer president on the board or you're the employee answerable to the board. Decide which role you want to play. If you like what you heard, please subscribe. Happy to provide more in the future. See you later.